I hear Tom in the background. And
I know, I do too. Welcome back, everyone, to the Family Entrepreneur Life live show. I am your host, Ariana Sylvester, and I have got an extra special guest on today. Slight disclaimer, Tom is definitely upstairs on a coaching call right now, so if you hear background noises, it's just Tom. But let me welcome to the show the fun and just so bubbly Rachel Miller. Rachel is a serial online entrepreneur and a mom of 6 kids. She began as a blogger and went to millions. She's both an Amazon FBA seller, a merch seller, and also monetizes with product funnels. She will share today how building an audience makes selling easy. But first, before she gets to that, good juicy, what is your story? Explain this family dynamic of 6 kids. How did you get started?
Well, I kind of got started because my husband came home with, like, I was with a newborn and another newborn on the way, and morning sickness and all the works, and he's like, and I couldn't go to work. Like, it wasn't like the money wasn't going to cover 2 kids in childcare. I was sick as a dog, and hours. You know those stages. Does that make sense? Like, but at the same time, I didn't want to spend all day watching Netflix. And what else is there to do after you've made dinner and you've breastfed? Like, there's nothing else going on. So, like,
nothing at all.
Well, I mean, there's stuff going on, but I mean, like, there wasn't much going on in life. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Something to do, okay? And so, but I couldn't work because of the life dynamic. So he's like, why don't you start a website? Like, you love people. This is the way you can meet people and not leave the house, because you can't really leave the house right now. Just the way life is, you can't, it's just too crazy. So I get that. So you can't get a job at a corporate job or whatever. So why don't you just, instead of, I don't think he even meant it to be a job. I think he just meant it like, hey, you can just have this blog and hang out, like, leaving comments on other people's blogs, and you just do that, sweetheart. Okay. Like, I think that was like his like backup plan for me or something. I don't know. Yeah. And he's like, you need to just do this. And then I kind of took it and ran with it. And before being a blogger, I was an economics teacher. So I always loved the charts of, if you do this with the dollar, people will do this. And if you change the cost of gasoline, it affects all these other parts of the economy. And so I was like, oh, that's fun. So people do this when you do that. Like, that was like, you're like messing with people's lives with numbers, right? So, like, I found that to be fascinating. And I taught economics, and I hope my kids that I taught thought it was that fascinating. They probably didn't, but whatever. I thought it was fascinating. So, but I took that love of people and that love of the numbers and the cause and effect of numbers, and then I started quantifying relationships by the analytics of a blog. So, like, oh, if I do this, more people talk to me. Ooh, I'll do that more. Like, and when you've got you start quantifying relationships, which is kind of, I guess, really weird when you talk about it. But I started realizing, okay, if I say these kind of words, people respond. If I put an apostrophe in my words, my posts get more attention. And it was just, how do I get more people to hang out with me? It's totally dorky. And it was so much fun.
We love dorky stuff around here. We're nerds.
And it exploded. It absolutely exploded. So it was really fun to see it explode. And not just to see it explode for me, but to see my readers then write me and say, oh my word, thank you. Or I had a reader like 3 months ago write me a note and said, here's the thing. My cat just died, and you put this post up at the perfect time, and I just want you to know that you totally are making this day a little bit better. So things like that, like the times, they make your day brighter, if that makes sense. It's not just the money. It's not just, it's those moments where you can touch someone's life when you're that stay-at-home mom who can't leave and is quantifying numbers. So that was like feeding my heart. So it's kind of dorky, I know, but it's beautiful. And now I get to help other businesses do the same thing. And I thought when I started that, like, if I tell you my secrets, then you'll have the same audience as me, and then I won't be big anymore because you'll get all the traffic. Because I had people.
I think we all go through that stage.
Like, oh my word, they're going to copy my blog post. How dare they? Did you believe that? They copied this. Like, that was my, and it was just like, I had that, like, and then I started letting other people, and I actually had students. I had 5
Mm-hmm.
out of 1,900. So, I mean, whatever. 5 of them literally made the same page, same name, everything. Not the same cover and profile. They made it a little bit different. But it's pretty much I'm a crazy cat lady, and they took Crazy Cat Lady 2 or Crazy Cat Lady Hi. I mean, like, which is fine, whatever. But the thing is it didn't hurt my traffic.
Mm-hmm.
All it did was kind of multiply it. So now, instead of me having an impact on my 125,000 fans on my Crazy Cat Lady page, now my cat page is having an impact on even more people. So it's really fun to kind of see it multiply. It's not a aluminum ball you're scrunching together. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think that we as entrepreneurs often struggle with, because, you know, you go from struggling and having those hard times and like building something from scratch with your own 2 hands, and then you get a little traction, and then things start going, and then you're like doing all this awesome, cool stuff, and you've got these people following you, and then someone copies you, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, like that's not cool, and you get so angry, like someone's taking your stuff. But when you look at it, you look the sheer number at the things that all the marketers are telling you, you know, find your people, and the people that want to follow you, you know, those are the people that are going to become your clients and customers. So if someone is willing to leave and go off and follow that other person, they weren't going to be...
They're probably following both of you.
They're probably following both of you, first of all.
Yeah. You're now having in a way that now you're reaching both audiences. And the Crazy Cat Lady, on average, like 6 cat pages. So it's not like they're watching one of us. Like, the person that's following you is probably also following me or following another entrepreneur at the same time. So it's you're just adding to the ecosystem of Facebook. It's not like I'm in my club and you're in your club. We're all part of the same ecosystem. So the more we interact together, the more of a community we are, and the more we're able to be a community for our readers and to connect them to other people. And we're also able to like feed Facebook, because Facebook says they're a community. So the more we act like we're part of the
bigger picture. Of the
bigger picture, we get to be the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
How did you go from blogging to the, I'm going to start building audiences phase?
A publisher hired us, and at the time we were getting 1 million page views a month. So I thought we were big stuff.
Wow.
I know. We were big stuff. But then we only had 13,000 Facebook fans. So it's like, we're big stuff, but we only have 13,000 Facebook fans. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. So I told my business partner, and my business partner, I looked at it, and I was like, well, I'm going to grow it to 1 million. Or grow it. I didn't say 1 million. I think my goal was like 70,000, because I thought that's a respectable number for somebody who has 1 million people.
Respectable. That's all.
Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but anyways, so we grew it to 1 million in a year, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. And so then I duplicated it, and I grew another page, One Crazy House, to 500,000. And then I went and spoke at blogging conferences because I love people. So I started speaking at conferences about how to go viral and how to grow these pages. And I spoke at probably like 8 or 9 conferences. And finally, I overheard someone saying what they probably should have said to me from the beginning, which is, you grew these pages in a way that no one else can copy. So you're speaking, but no one else can do what you just did, because you started your second page by using your big page to share it. So of course, when you have 1 million fans, you can grow a 500,000 page. Like, does that make sense? And when you have a lot of money coming in because you have 1 million fans, it's easy to put money out for ads or whatever. Does that make sense? You can do that. You can't do that when you don't have revenue. So so I went to the different. So I went to the conference. I overheard somebody saying, you can't copy her, just listen to it like a motivational speech, because she's really motivating. I'm sitting there going, I'm not motivating, but maybe I am. But she's really motivating, but she's not real. So don't worry about what she's saying. Just listen to like the feeling of her words. And I'm still going, well, that's, I'm all like, I'm in the bathroom stall, like in a tizzy conversation going, no, I can help her. Like, this could be her. And so anyway, so I left that. And I was like in quite a mood. I was like, I mean, does that make sense? Like, I failed these people. How I just spoke at 9 conferences and I failed all these people. And so I go home, and my husband's like, it's just whatever. Like, he's like rolling his eyes at me, like, because he's like the most chill guy ever. He's like, yeah, okay, like, So build another page. It's like, no, seriously, just go build another one with no money. You can do it. And I did.
I was just going to say, I bet you did.
He said I should build it in cats. And so I did. It was kind of funny. So I built one in cats, and then I made it go viral. And then I had somebody say, well, of course you made cats go viral. It's cats. So I was like, well, what's really boring? And to me, crock pots are really boring because I don't like cooking. So I did the same thing again with crock pots. And then I found out there are people who are really passionate about crock pots.
There are people who are very passionate about crock pots.
Very passionate about crock pots. But at the time, I didn't think of it as a passion thing. So, but I found who those passionate people are, loved on them, built the page, and then I don't sell anything with the page. Like, it's just kind of there now because I'd have to now cook to put content on it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like alive for a little while. And when I actually let some of my friends like post their stuff on it. So it's like, anyway, so it's not like I'm doing anything with that page. I'm selling some Amazon products and some t-shirts through it. Like I addicted to butter. I don't care, those like shirts from it, but it's not like a super monetization. I know I could do better on that, but so anyway, so I have those audiences now, and I said I went to some friends and 100 people and said, "Do you want me to teach you how I did this?" You basically it's Halloween. Let me know by tomorrow. And then I freaked out because 47 of them said heck yes, and then gave me their credit cards, and I was just like, oh, well, and then everyone else was like, well, we didn't get the message because we were trick-or-treating with our kids, you crazy woman.
Yep.
Yep. I was like, you can't come in. You can't. I'm out. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, I have 47 people I'm supposed to teach how to do this now. And what if I can't? And it was so much fun. And then they grew. Those 47 people exploded their audiences. Mm-hmm. So we have one dad who went from being a martial arts guy to having a full fishing business. We have a girl who had like next to no food people in her food blog. She was a very small food blog. To now she has 400,000 people on her food blog.
Wow.
I mean, it's just the numbers of growth is just, we have one coach who went from 0 people following her coaching page to 2,000 people following her coaching page. But the thing is with the coaching page, those are 2,000 people that are potential clients for high dollar ticket programs. So now she's got a full-time recurring income coming in, which is a 2,000 Facebook fan page. So she's like, dude, this was amazing. And I'm saying, oh, it's only 2,000. I mean, it could be, well, just wait until we get to 65K. But it's huge. It's huge, life-changing for her. So it's been really exciting.
We can't tell at all from your enthusiasm.
I really like that. I like seeing people becoming the moms that they wanted to be, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be a stay-at-home mom, because there's times when I want to go to the coffee shop and not work at home. But you get to do your own business, be your own boss on the terms that you have. When your daughter gets sick and has to go to the hospital, you can walk away from your business and not worry about it because you still have traffic coming in. You've got your systems automated. You can take a 2-week break and not with no notice and be okay. So, and that happened to one of my students, and she said, thank you, because I told her the week before, 2 weeks before that she needed to make a hits page and set it up, and I walked through how to do it, and then she did that, and then her daughter woke up unresponsive. So she spent the next week and a half in the hospital, and she expected to come home to her business in shambles. And instead, she came home to checks waiting for her in her mailbox and contracts saying, hey, get back to me. Why haven't you gotten back to me? I want to hire you. And so she came home to her business going as normal. Nothing changed because everything was automated. She came home with 10 grand in her mail. I mean, that's so cool. So,
that's awesome. And I mean, that's what it's all about too. You mentioned business on your own terms. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, is trying to find ways to do that. But when you get into the online space, you've got all these people telling you, no, you have to do it this way. No, you have to do it this way.
Oh, I do tell you,
no, you do it. Well, no, but I mean, you're telling people to build.
Love on your audience. And
you do have to love on your audience if you are in the online space. So yes, that is true. And obviously, if you're following a specific method to doing something, it's good to listen to the person teaching you. But for family entrepreneurs, for people that have, the different responsibilities, and maybe you have to work around a job or a spouse that's still working.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do all those different aspects of it.
My husband, he doesn't have to work because of the income that I'm pulling in, but he very much likes his job, and he's he's not quitting. He's been very clear. I don't care if you make 15 times what you're making right now. I'm still doing my job. I'm still going to work every week. And here's the deal. You're still driving the kids to orthodontics, and I'll do supper now. So we do freezer food, and he makes the supper. So anyway, so like it's still, I can still stop my job anytime, go to the orthodontist. The kids forget their lunch at school. I bring them their lunch, and I bring them a very crappy lunch because they forgot their lunch and they should know better. But like you can do all those things because you have a job that's flexible. Okay, other than launch week when I'm doing lives.
Other than that, but everyone's got busy times. That just happens.
Yeah.
So 6 kids. Talk to us about this family dynamic, because I am over here struggling with 2.
It's a little crazy. The thing is that because they're 6 and they're all the same age, they kind of keep themselves entertained. So I can say, hey guys, I used to have my workstation in the room with everyone else. And so it was me and the kids all in one big room. And we just they were on their computer and I was on my computer. They were playing Minecraft and I was playing my business. Because that's more fun anyways, guys.
Sorry.
So mind numbing. Titan, come here. The dog's whining. Come here, puppy. Okay. So we he's a puppy, and so he still gets into trouble if he starts whining and he's not being paid attention to. Oh, for crying out loud, he wants to go. So anyways, you get to have options to focus on your kids when you're from home. So I needed to have a job that could be flexible. We had 3 kids, and then we adopted, and so we went from a family of 3 to a family of 6 because we were pregnant at the time we adopted, and so a family of 6. And so I needed a job that I could drop and then pick back up. And so I walked away from Quirky Mama, and then started a new one as soon as I was able. You can have that flexibility when you have skills, and that's what. And skills and working online, you can do anything. The sky's kind of the limit. So
it definitely is.
Yeah.
Wow. That is just the craziest story ever. I feel like I just took in so much, so fast.
Sorry. I do talk really, really fast.
That's okay. It's okay. You just got to rewatch it to process everything.
Maybe slow it down. Did they do that? Yeah.
Yeah, you could slow the playback down. So what you've got right now, your main, correct?
It cut out there.
Uh-oh.
You said the main, and then I lost you.
All right, so we'll try that again. Rewind. So your main business right now is Moolah Marketer, is that correct?
Yes. Well, I still have the blogs, and they're on autopilot.
Okay.
So I still make thousands of dollars every month from my blogs. So I actually bring in as much income as my husband passively from those that I've created. They're still running. They're still generating income, and I don't work on them anymore. So, but it doesn't feed my heart. Does that make sense? I collect them and I sell them things like chalkboard labels, and we outsource it. And so they buy chalkboard labels, which is great. And I make $4 per one, and that's awesome. And that's lovely, but it's not like the impact. Does that make sense? And so when I started helping other people grow their businesses and make their car payments and get attention to the things that they wanted, grow consulting businesses, it was just so much more fun. It was kind of like when I was talking before about how it was or maybe I'm getting my chats mixed up, how I was focusing on my niche and that I wasn't going to include others, but almost multiplying my cat page was actually more fun because I saw the impact that we could have on a cat community when I didn't even like cats. But I love those people. Does that make sense? I love people, and I love those cat people. And so I got to have an impact on even more cat people because of that. And that's really fun. So yeah, I get to have a bigger impact because now it's not just my virals. I mean, I got 29 posts to bring in 1 million page views each to my blog. And that was a fun game, right? But now I get to help other people bring in 50 million. And I didn't even know that number was possible. So it's just they brought 50 million eyeballs. 3 of my separate students have brought 50 million eyeballs to post on Facebook. I didn't think that was possible. But I got posts to 15 million, and they used those same tactics that I shared on how to get posted 15 million to make their 50 million. And I was just like, that's like almost everybody that's on Facebook. Maybe not everyone on Facebook. There's 250 million people on Facebook active. So they reach 1/5 of everyone on Facebook. 1/5
Insane.
of everyone on Facebook. Like, how is that possible?
I totally understand what you are saying though with the impact, because like a lot of people, they see Tom and I like, oh my gosh, you have a real estate business, and oh, you have a wine and liquor store, and now you're in the online business, and we talk about it a lot. Like you don't have to have this. We were not passionate about real estate. I don't really care about real estate as much as I do. And hi.
Let the dog out. Sorry.
As much as I can. No, it's okay. We've totally had kid cameos on here before. I don't really care about real estate.
They're starting to get a little caged.
They're like, let us out. Yeah. I don't care about real estate. I mean, I do. I enjoy wine and liquor, but I'm not. I'm not passionate about starting and running that business. Those to us were means to an end. We wanted to reach a certain goal for our lives. But when it came down to it, when we got into the online space and started to see, the impact that we could make, Tom is absolutely passionate about coaching and helping other people to do what we've done and to kind of create those lifestyles for themselves. And now he's got me on board, and it's like, I can't even stop thinking about some of this stuff sometimes. And I've got to force myself to stop working on the online stuff so that I can actually do work.
Yeah,
I definitely hear you on that impact-driven work ethic, because it's insane.
The thing is the chalkboard labels did sustain me. Like, they sustain my family, they pay the bills, they pay the mortgage. But what fulfills is when you can make an impact on people's hearts. And so, yes, I can actually make an impact on people's hearts with chalkboard labels. But I get bigger impact if I help you make an impact with chalkboard labels. So that's where teaching fulfills me. So that's a fun new level.
Well, I won't stop us from letting you fulfill. Let's talk about how to love on your audience with Facebook.
Ooh, well, I have something called the bumper sticker strategy. Let me get a piece of paper. It's easier to sketch it out. So here's a paper. Facebook kind of has a lot of different spots of a page. Okay, so you've got your page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Woo, there we go. Okay, so right here you've got your profile picture, and below it you've got your title of your name, and then you've got your cover, and then below your cover you've got your content. This is where you put your photos, your videos that you upload, you share a link, you leave a comment. This is where your content goes. All of this needs to speak a certain message, and it's got to be the message that is about your reader and not about you. Even if you're a coach, even if you're a product show and you want to show like the history of the product and that it was showcased as a #1 whatever in such and such agency, whatever, and you feel like that's going to give you extra validation points. The reality is your customers are coming to your page and if they like it, they comment, they share it, it's about themselves. So if you make all of this, at least while you're beginning, about your reader, and then once you're established, make it a little bit more about, about the products. So like once you've got the people there, then be like, oh yeah, guys, I got this product. oh yeah, guys, Face does coaching. But when you start, make it about what they're wanting so that way you can attract them. And then when you've attracted them, add a little bit more of your goal. So to attract them though, you want these things to speak for your reader, not speak for you. So this would be, what are you? Like, who is your reader? Geeky mom, that would be me, right? Or crazy cat lady, or quirky mama, or super healthy kids. Those are all, super healthy kids is not my site, but all the other ones I mentioned are ones I've started. Crazy house. These are all things that you would say about yourself or your reader would say about themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So budding entrepreneur, thriving entrepreneur. Only I hear that you can't use the word entrepreneur because it's been trademarked, so be careful with that one. Misspell it, okay? Because they can't honestly misspell it, because it'll still pop up in the search if you misspell just one letter, and it'll still pop up in search. So anyway, why am I telling you this? Going off on a, like, you can still be an entrepreneur. Let me tell you how. Entrepreneur Magazine can't tell me no.
Random side tangents. This is life, people.
There's a way that you can do that. We will make it happen. Anyways, okay. So you want these to be about your reader. So a lot of times pages fail because they're making it about themselves. So
we're guilty, right? I'm going to tell you right now, we're guilty of that.
Yeah, well, if you do that, you can grow. You're just going to grow more slowly. So in the course. So
Wow.
no, we're talking from 1,000 fans, and she'd had that page for 4 or 5 months to growing to 141,000 fans. So yesterday she showed me she was with the last group. She grew 141,000 fans. I didn't know that was possible, but that was really good. So before that, my biggest one was 97,000 in growth during the 6 weeks course. So, but they're unusual. Okay, they're not like the norm. The norm is not that big.
I don't think we need it to be that big. Even like a small piece of that would be great for most of us.
A girl that was a coach, and she grew by 2,000. But those 2,000 people were all buying. And they weren't all buying, but like I think she had like 25 buys out of it. But they were buying high dollar products that were recurring in revenue. So she got 25 people to give her $1,000 a month now from that page of 2,000. That's solid revenue.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good percentage. I mean, for that type of package.
Like, this is amazing. Like, oh my word, like your course is the best thing ever. I'm like, you only grew by 2,000. But it's if you can attract those right people, and she did that by pulling her face actually off of her page and making it something that fed who they were and showcasing who they were.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy to see the growth and the impact.
Wow. So tell us a little bit more about your course that you just had. So you've got your Facebook strategies free page, which is your free group, and I will pop a link to that below. I mean, she gives a ton of value in the free group alone, but then you actually just had your course open up yesterday. And
I like to think of the free group as kind of like the messy place. You cannot get all the information. Like, we don't talk about how to viral funnel in there. We don't talk about dark posts in there. But you can get a lot of the course if you like stalk it. Okay, so we have had people grow their pages when they don't have any revenue, like none whatsoever, grow their pages from hanging out in the free group. And I am thrilled to see those grow. But if you're like me and you're limited on time and you don't want to search for all of it and you don't want to scroll through the crap advice, because there's crap advice that's in there, a lot of it, because like we don't monitor all of it, okay? If you don't want to go through all of that, we have a course that we open I was opening every 2 months, but it's becoming more like 3 and 4 months, because I was opening at 2 months and then having like a 2-week break before we started back up again, but that wasn't enough time for me to make any changes in the content so that the content is updated for the algorithm. So then it started being 3 months, but then I was like, well, now I'm working every single day. No, I want to take a 2-week vacation between them. So now it's 4 months. So anyway, guys, sorry. So yeah, the next one's opening either the middle of December or the beginning of January. So
okay.
So yeah, so because I'm assuming that there'll be some algorithm changes and we'll need to update, and then yeah. So it opens, and then if you get the course, you get 1 year worth of the updates, and you get 1 year of the alumni group, and then you're going to be in the regular group as we go through the course. And as we go through the nitty gritty, and then once you're at like week 5, week 6, when it's starting to get upper level stuff, we'll move you into the alumni group, because they're still there. They're still doing the whole package deal, and we'll work on it together. So, and that lets us work at different levels, because when the upper level group, the alumni, is asking questions about like conversion audiences and custom audiences, and often you have to get your bumper sticker right before you can get that. Does that make sense? So the new people are like, whoa, wait a second, like I'm not like. Or they're trying to run ads and not doing well because they didn't do that first part. So we are separating at this time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so your either biggest lesson learned, or I guess biggest piece of advice that you have for anyone listening now or anyone that comes back and watches the replay,
would be to make it about your reader. So make it about your reader, and then find where your reader is on Facebook. So, and your reader is not you. So a lot of people think, well, I like, okay, I have a friend who's a soccer coach. And he's like, well, soccer people are this. They call themselves ballers. I'm like, okay. So if you make a page, is that what they're like going to flock to? Oh, no, actually they flock to the page that says, I love soccer. Okay, so guess what? Now your tagline is, I love soccer. Because yes, you might call yourself a baller, but what do your 12-year-old boys call themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make so you've got to think like your audience a little bit. And even if you've been a soccer coach for 14 years, 15 years, you're like entrenched in soccer, you still don't think like your audience because they're coming at soccer from a different place than you are. So you've got to literally put yourself, that's by talking to them, asking them. And I think that's what I learned from the Crazy Cat Lady, because before Crazy Cat Lady, I had a website called Posh Girls, and Posh Girls was a real disaster. It took me but the thing is I was trying to project makeup as somebody who doesn't use makeup onto an audience who's like, dude, that is not good makeup. Like, oh my word. You're not it's coming across. It wasn't working, right? Because I found that makeup has a really high markup. So I was like, you can sell makeup really well. Oh, I can sell makeup. I've never used lip liner before. So, who am I to tell people, okay, I can do this? Yeah, it didn't come out very right. It didn't work, right? So, because I wasn't authentic to them. People are selling makeup all the time online. I've had one, there are pages growing in makeup because they're authentic to the user, right? And so I wasn't authentic to them. So with Crazy Cat Lady, I was like, okay, I wasn't authentic with makeup before. What can I do this time to make sure that I'm authentic? And so I called my readers. I literally called them and talked to them on the phone. And I taped the conversations, and they would say things like, I'm my cat's mom, or my cat's my baby, or could you believe they let their cats go when they moved out of their house, and they just left their cats there, and like that they're called like CNR. Like I didn't even know, I'm very passionate about CNR. I'm like, what the heck is CNR? Okay, now I can say I'm passionate about CNR and put that on a post and they know I'm real. Does that make sense? Because I would not have done that if I hadn't failed at Posh Girls and realized, okay, I really have to get to know my audience. And by doing that, see, honey, I can grow a cat page with no money.
Oh, goodness.
It was a dare. I mean, I know it's kind of crazy that kind of all started on a dare.
Yeah, but I think that, you got to find what motivates you. Him, that totally motivated you. You're like, all right, I can do that. I'm going to do it. I love it. Emma Weatherall says, hello. She is loving this advice and super stepping into your ideal client's mind and lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I think that's one of the mistakes when trying to market to our audiences, when we're trying to sell to our audiences, is just assuming that we know what they want and we know how they talk and we know the things that they like. And that often isn't the case. So, I mean, the best thing that I have done so far to this date is actually talking to people, jumping on calls with them, just chatting, no sales pitching or anything involved, asking for feedback afterwards, after having trainings, after promoting offers, that people didn't buy. Get on the phone with them and ask them why not, because I've gotten some of the best insights from that. And I mean, Tom talks about all the...
Don't give them a survey. I know a lot of people give surveys, but if you give a survey, you're feeding them what you're wanting.
Exactly.
And if I had fed, hey, cat people, do you prefer this or this? I wouldn't have found out that they love CNR.
Yeah, and it would have been either of those two things. It would have been something completely different.
Yeah, it would have been something completely different. They're like, oh, I prefer this. Because I would have never known that all my cat virals are pretending a cat's a human. Like the things a toddler would do when you put a cat in that toddler spot. Like, oh, well, I know toddlers, okay? Having had 6 of them, we've had every toddler issue known to man. Okay, cats do the same thing as toddlers. Got it, done, we're good. Okay, once I learned that, I can now relate to them. Oh, my cat shredded toilet paper all over the house. Toddlers shred toilet paper all over the house. So once you can see those things, now we can go viral with cats and toilet paper, and I can sell them a subscription to toilet paper. No joke. I did it.
That is awesome. This is the most random thing ever.
I know, it was really cool. I was like, oh my God, I'm going viral with toilet paper, and we are totally putting an affiliate link on that. Amazon does subscribe and save.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I'm a huge proponent of subscribe and save. Actually, we have toilet paper on our subscribe and save. So it's funny that you say that, because that's totally...
But how many people are like, oh, yeah, and you see toilet paper come up in your feed, and you're like, oh, yeah, the cat did that last week, and I ran out. I should probably get on subscribe and save. that's what we did with that trigger. Does that make sense? So I serve my audience because they're like, oh yeah, you know what? Cats do destroy toilet paper. It'd be so nice to just have it being delivered and not have to think about that when my cat destroys it. Just get it in an hour delivered to my house.
Oh my goodness. I love the way you think. So Rachel, if people want to find you, best places to find you, because you just mentioned like 5 different websites and Facebook pages in this live. So tell us the best 2.
Not by email. Don't email me.
No, don't email.
I'm so bad at email. Like, you can't be any worse at email than I am. Yeah, I have a Facebook page, which is Moolah Marketer. And then I've got a Facebook group that's free, which is the Page Strategies group.
Oh yeah, and we will post up that link.
Yeah, you can Facebook message me. I mean, I'm on Facebook. I can't, during launch week, Facebook thinks I'm a spammer because I get 200 or 300 messages a day.
Oh my God.
So I actually turn off my messaging sometime during launch week, every launch so far. So I still have it, but that's because I'm not responding and reading all my messages, because I'm like, okay, what if I need to message somebody and I don't have Messenger anymore? Like, don't turn me off yet, Facebook, we're not done. So anyways, if it wasn't launch week, messaging's good, but even afterwards, because I'll have 200, I won't be able to see messages this week. Yeah. But any other time, Facebook Messenger is another way. So.
Well, and going into the Facebook page or the Facebook group, if people join the group, they can tag you.
Yeah. And I've got staff now that help me run it. So we've got 8 people that will also, who I've said they know their stuff, so they can respond to your questions, because sometimes I don't see them. So I try.
Totally understandable. You're a mom of 6 and running multiple businesses. So I mean,
and come on. A dog needs to be let out. I mean, come on.
And you got a puppy that is going to be humongous.
I know. He's a golden doodle, and he is ginormous.
I saw him before the show, and he's pretty big already. You guys are in trouble. Our dog's only 50 pounds, and she's full grown, so that's perfect size for me.
Yeah, we need him to calm down. I think we can handle a big dog if he just calms down like 50 notches.
I won't tell you that might take 5 years or so.
Put my personality in a dog, and oh my word, get out.
All right. So this has been awesome. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on and not only sharing your story with us, but dropping some major knowledge bombs with the Facebook page and the bumper sticker strategy. Now you know what I'm going to be doing this weekend is, go to take a little look-see at our Facebook page. And we will put all of the links to where you can find Rachel in the comments. So I hope you guys all loved this episode. If you did, throw a comment in, give us some likes and hearts, tag Rachel and I. If you have questions, go ahead and post them up here and we will jump in and answer them. And
I hope you guys know that you could do this. Like, if a mom with 6 kids working part-time can do this, you can do this too. So this isn't like a pie in the sky dream. It's something that is happening all the time. And businesses are being born, and it's totally possible for you.
It's totally doable. I love it. And it's such, you teach such simple, effective methods. And I think that's what people need, and that's what people want. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all right. Have a great day.
I think we are wrapping up. If you are not yet a member of the Family Entrepreneur Life community, go ahead and request access, because we love to have all you family entrepreneurs with like-minded ideas and, day-to-day stuff that we just post about. And then we'll be back next week with another episode of our Member Stories series. So thank you all for watching. If you're catching the replay, thank you. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.